Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon to learn about Retail for Impact. It's very good to see some familiar names and also great to see new ones. So thank you very much for joining this webinar. And while we wait a few more minutes for people to join, we would like to ask you to pick up your phones and to start connecting to this Mentimeter that we've created so that we get to know who's connected and get to know you a bit better. So you could either scan the QR code that you see on the slide or connect through the links and let us know if you face any issues. Let's just wait one more minute for everyone to join and then we'll get started. Thank you. I see some of you are already on the Menti. That's good. So let's give it 30 more seconds and then we'll start. Okay, Bruno, I suggest we get started and I give you the floor so that you can lead our participants through Menti. The floor is yours, Bruno.
Many thanks, Manon. And so, hello everyone. So good to just to have you here, and again also to see some new names and some already old ones. We're really happy to have you here. And so we can start here for our Menti. Please, we first want to get to know a little more about you. And so actually we're asking here, so who are you? So you have here a few options, and we would like you to please select the option that best describe your organization. And please feel free to do it. We'll spend a few seconds here, but you can we can see that we can have a few brand owners. We have the option of a retailer with private label brands, a retail association, a business network, an NGO, an university, a science and research center, a certification scheme, a consultancy, and other. Please, if you selected other, feel free to specify in the chat what type of uh, organization. And again, if you cannot access the Mentimeter through the link or the QR code, you can also write here on the chat too. We'll be taking a look at the answers there. So we're just gonna see if we have a few more answers, but for those who are already answering, thank you so much. It's very important to us to have these ideas so we can tailor the activities of the Retail for Impact so you can make the most of it and so we can provide to you a more accurate content, a more better experience. So uh, thanks for that. Oh, we have a comment here and retail with private label brand. Thanks a lot. And we'll see, we're still stuck with 21 answers, Manon. Do you want to move to the next one or I'm not seeing any
Yeah, let's move to the
updates,
next
right?
one and hopefully people will join on the Menti as we go. If you have any issues connecting to Menti, please tell our team in the chat so that we can best help you. You should be able to connect through the link, hopefully.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I'm not sure if they were asking for the link again, right? Perfect. So we can. Oh, I believe we're having a few other answers. So many thanks. We have here 7 people from NGO, a few from business network, brand owners, universities too, consultancy, science and research center. It's good to have this diversity of organizations. Now okay. So moving on. So to get to know a little bit more about you, we would like to ask you in which sector or sectors do you operate? We have a few of them listed here as food, cosmetics and personal care, textiles, electronics, construction. But if your sector is not specified here, please you can write it in the chat and answer other in the Menti. And it's good that we are already receiving some other comments, but we have a lot of people from the food sector, a few from textiles. Almost we have here a tie between electronics, construction, and cosmetics, but good. We also have a diversity in terms of sectors too. A few of other that are uh, on the chat. We have art and design education, home furnishing, agrochemical reduction, biodegradable tableware. Oh, that's incredible. Always good to have that diversity here. Let's see if we receive a few other answers, and then we can move on to the next question. So what do we have here? Food. Oh, now we have beverage and policy. That's nice too. Another one for food. Yes, we are very uh, diverse here. That's important, and it's very nice to have in here. We're with 20 answers, right? Manon, as for the time, can we just give like 10 more seconds, or it can go? I believe we
Move to the next one, Bruno,
move on to the
sorry.
next one. Yeah, no, yeah, it's okay. Need to keep on time here, but as you can see, our following still our questions here to get to know a little more about you. And we would like to ask you in which region or regions does your organization operate? So here we have the options of the global operation in Africa, Latin America and the Caribbean, Asia and the Pacific, Europe and Central Asia, and North America. But here, please, you can select more than one option if your organization operates in more than one region. So you can select more than one option, and we have here majority of organizations have a global operation, but we also have Latin America and the Caribbean. Nice. North America. Oh, Suchi said here currently in India and plan to start in North America. Oh, that's very nice too. And we also have a few of them operating in Europe and Central Asia, Asia and the Pacific, and Africa too. So we have at least one organization operating in at least one different region. Okay, just a few more seconds so we can go to the next one. Have, yeah, 23 answers. I think we have the majority of them already. And also for the last question here, we want to know if you are a member of the One Planet Network or if you are a member of another UNAP initiative. So here we have the option of being a member of the One Planet Network. So if you are, please just let us know. If you are a member of UNAP initiative, we will be happy to read the initiative in the chat. So you can feel free to write it there to let us know which initiative are you part of. If you're not a member of a UNAP initiative but would like to become one, that's another option here. If you were willing to know a little bit more of these initiatives and be part of it. And if you're not a member of UNAP, an UNAP initiative and prefers it stays this way, it's also perfect. You can feel free to give us this brief overview. Oh, we have here the UN Global Compact. Thank you, Carolina. Um, but that's good. We have a few members of the One Planet Network and a few of people that want to become a member of UNAP initiative. That's perfect. Oh, Stitch said not now, but want to be a member of UNAP as working on biodegradable tableware products and plastic-free planet initiative. That's very nice. UNAP interfaith partnership. You know, that's great to hear. And we have three that are already a member of UNAP initiative and two that are not and prefers it say that this way. But it's nice that we have here two members of the One Planet Network of or the UNAP initiatives or also members willing to be future members. It's very nice. So we have here for Richard, member of Global Compact and Spark Blue. Oh, that's perfect. But so just to cover briefly here before I give the floor back to Manon, if for those especially that are interested in becoming a member of a UNAP initiative or any other initiative, don't worry because we're going to cover this in the upcoming slides and questions. So you you probably have all your doubts solved here. And we're going to have another Menti round after a few moments also. So you just please keep it open, your Menti on your phone or a laptop for later so you can participate in those questions too. So for now, I'll give the back floor to Manuel and I want to thank you again for the participation and engagement and hope you can enjoy all the content that we have prepared for you in this webinar. So I'll come back later. So Manon, before it's yours.
Thanks, Bruno. Thanks a lot for animating this warm-up exercise. We're seeing quite good representation around the table today, so that's really good to see across sectors and across regions. So thank you all again for making time to learn about our new Retail for Impact initiative, which is led by the One Planet Network's Consumer Information Program. And we're very proud to kick off this initiative with you today that uniquely targets the retail sector. and aims to drive meaningful change by uniting the sector in providing effective and credible claims to consumers. And before getting into more details, I'd like to give the floor to Adriana, who is the deputy head of the 10YFP and the One Planet Network, and also the lead of the consumer information area of excellence within OPN. So Adriana, please, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Manon, and thanks, Bruno. On behalf of UNEP and the One Planet Network, I welcome you all to this webinar. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us, for the time that you are dedicating today to learn more about this initiative. Happy to see most of you coming from the Americas, North America, Latin America. We have a session this morning where we had also a lot of people from the other time zone, from Africa, Europe, Asia, but it's great to have you now here and to see also people joining late in Asia and Africa. So thanks so much for being here. We are very, very excited to present to you today this initiative to kick off the open of expression of interest of this initiative. We will explain you how to join this initiative, and we really hope that you will join and participate actively. But before that, why is this initiative important? Why do we care about providing sustainable information on products? And there are many reasons, but few of them. First of all, we know that there is an increasing demand for consumers to have better information on products, but also an increasing demand for more sustainable products. And how do we see that? We see in the numbers that 72% of consumers say they would like to have more information on how companies are reducing the environmental impact with the products or services. We know that 57% of the European consumers, they are saying that they want to have as a compulsory information on environmental impact in the food products. And globally, 2/3 of consumers want to have information on the carbon footprint in all the products. So there is clear evidence of this consumer demand and willingness to protect the environment through their consumption choices, to see what is the impact of the products of purchasing in the biodiversity, climate, or pollution. The second reason, and we are also happy to see, that there is also an increasing commitment from companies to provide trustworthy claims to consumers, or also to move and differentiate the market and provide more sustainable products that are complying either to national, regional legislation, and also contributing to global, national, regional commitments, like climate, biodiversity, and different commitments we have. And the third, we also know that sustainable products is also an advantage for companies and can increase your market share, your competitiveness, and gives you also or differentiate your products for the rest of the products in the market. So those are some of the reasons why is this important. However, we are also aware that we are facing a lot of challenges. Some of them is, yes, an increasing number of labeling schemes. Every time as consumers, we get more and more information, and sometimes it's difficult to learn. There are more emerging new types of quantitative disclosures that companies have today, give different and competing certification schemes. So all this is also leading to a trend of having now misleading self-declared claims that at the end of the day, what is creating is distrust from consumers and also confusion on what product is better. How do we see that? You will find interesting this data. 53% of the green claims are giving vague, misleading, or not reliable information on the product. Or half of the green labels offer weak or really not existing verification schemes. We also have a huge number of voluntary sustainability standards, over 350, for example. And so this is just confusing and reducing the trust of consumers, or switching them off. But at the same time, we also see that the greenwashing or the misleading claims are not only creating distrust in consumers or inaction, it is also causing reputational damage to companies or loss in the market share or legal consequences to the companies. Most of you have seen that there is an increasing legal pressure for companies to address the greenwashing. So that's why we and the One Planet Network have created this initiative, and we want to provide knowledge, solution, but also trigger action and work with you on how can we face these challenges, offering you tools, existing tools and principles that we have and could help in having more reliable, relevant, clear, transparent, and accessible information for consumers. That will be a benefit for the companies, for the consumers, and at the end of the day, also for the planet. So, and you will be also asking, why retailers? Why retailers? Well, UNEP recognizes a retailer as a key actor. Retailers are a key driver to really help us in shifting towards sustainable consumption and production patterns. Retailer is very well placed because they are the connection between the supplier and the consumer. They are the sales point, so they can influence the demand and the supply, or also inform on the increasing demand so that there could be more supply of sustainable products. That's why we are focusing on retailers, because we recognize the great power that you have in helping us in the shift towards sustainability. So what we want to offer with the Retail4Impact, and Manon will be explaining more, is first of all, provide the information, the solution, the tools on how to improve the information of your products, the sustainability of your products, and training. But most importantly, we want to create a community of practice. It's not a one-way learning. We also want to create a peer-to-peer learning platform where we will learn from you, where you as retailers or brand owners will be sharing also best practices, bad practices with your peers, and then we can collectively improve consumer information. So that's why you will see that the retailer, and today in this webinar launching the call for expression of interest, we are also curating it. We want to get your feedback. We want to see how we can tailor this initiative more to your needs, to your priorities. And in this, what we really want is, like, 1 year after you start and we start this initiative, we would like to see that we have enabled the retailer sector in communicating better their sustainability claims, that we have created a community of practice, that we have collected best practices, and at the end, that we have also empowered consumers to choose to make more informed choices, hopefully to sustainable products. So with this, just to say, we are really excited. We look forward to working with you. Hope you will join us, and please feel free to invite other networks, partners to join this initiative. And now let me give the floor back to Manu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for this warm introduction and for wonderfully setting the stage for Retail4Impact. So now let me introduce you the agenda for today's webinar. We would like to start with the why, and coming back to what Adriana started sharing in the introduction. Why is Retail4Impact so important in the current context? And what are the challenges that the initiative aims to address? Then we'll move to the who by presenting you who this initiative targets, before explaining what you as an organization will get from joining this initiative. And finally, we'll provide, and hopefully made it clear, on how you can concretely join Retail4Impact, whether you are a retailer, a brand owner, or aim to become a partner organization of the initiative. And of course, we'll leave space for questions at the end. So let's not wait to provide more information, background information on why Retail4Impact is very much needed in our view. As Adriana mentioned, we're in a time where increasing legal pressure is compelling companies to improve the accuracy of their product sustainability information. We're all witnessing laws that are emerging worldwide, encouraging for greater transparency, for more sustainability, and also encouraging consumer confidence in environmental claims. But companies are also seeing pressure and increasing pressure from consumers themselves who are demanding more comprehensive information on the sustainability of the products that they buy in any point of sale. And this rise of conscious consumerism is already, in fact, leading companies to disclose sustainability information on their products. But we're seeing that it's not always an easy task. For example, companies sometimes lack information from their suppliers, or they're not really able to verify the source of this information. Or again, the information may not be very easily communicated or communicated in a clear manner to consumers because of the lack of space on a label, for example. So these are the challenges that Retail for Impact aims to tackle. The rising issue of misleading green claims on product sustainability, but also the proliferation of self-declared labels without credible validation behind, or what Adriana mentioned as well, which we're seeing a surge and a rise of voluntary sustainability standards across the world. So it's no longer a secret that if companies start addressing these issues now, don't start addressing these issues now, that they will continue risking higher reputational damage, loss of market share, legal consequences in the face of these emerging laws, and most importantly, consumer distrust that we're seeing today and disengagement overall. So that's nothing new. Now, what's very important for us to share with you is that the Retail for Impact initiative capitalizes on this key resource that was developed back in 2017 called the Guidelines for Providing Product Sustainability Information. And this report guides companies on how to convey credible consumer information, mainly by aligning their claims to a set of 10 high-level principles that you see here on the slide that range from fundamental principles to aspirational ones, with the aim of really providing guidance to companies on how to best apply these principles to making more effective and trustworthy claims to consumers. So you can see here that these guidelines are already available in several languages, and many countries have even already translated them to their national contexts. So this is something that we already have within the community of practice of the Consumer Information Program, and that we'll share with you during this initiative more broadly. So these guidelines will be at the heart of the initiative, and we aim to accelerate their use mainly to achieve two overarching goals that Adriana started sharing as well. We want companies at the end of this first cycle of Retail for Impact to communicate credible claims at the point of sale by aligning their current product sustainability information with these global frameworks and principles, with the aim at the end of the day to empower and enable consumers to make more informed and sustainable choices. So now that we've said that, concretely, how is Retail for Impact going to help you help you and us meeting these objectives? So concretely, the initiative will walk you through three different objectives. One is to enable you to learn about these guidelines and these principles and increase understanding of current best practices that are already in the field of product sustainability. The second objective is to enable you to assess the relevance of your current claims and your current product sustainability information in line with these guidelines principles, and to help you take action to either develop or improve the way that you inform your consumers through green claims, while enabling you, and that's very important for us, to join a global community of practice on the topic of product sustainability, to share case studies, to share learnings, and to foster collaborations with peers. And we're absolutely convinced that working towards these three objectives will enable you to lead by example and to start shifting towards more harmonized, more reliable, and more credible green claims. We're also convinced that by joining this initiative and working towards this shift, that companies will be able to reach these different targets or benefits. So driving meaningful market change by delivering impact through building trust and empowering consumer choice, but also by protecting your brand reputation, because we will work towards de-risking your current sustainability communications, current or future, to also stay ahead of regulation by really understanding the evolving regulatory frameworks on product sustainability, and also starting to measure and assess your contribution to reaching some targets of the 2030 agenda, particularly some targets behind SDG 12 that we're working under at the One Planet Network. And finally, to benefit from joining not only a UN initiative, but a global community of front-runner organizations that are working to inform consumers through more credible green claims in different high-impact products. So now that we've set the stage, and I hope all was clear so far, I would like us to move to the next section to present who can take part in the initiative. So Retail for Impact targets two types of important stakeholders. The first one are retailers who produce their own brands, their private label brands, and brand owners. And we both refer to them as participating companies because they will be taking part and benefiting from this year-long initiative. We target retailers and brand producers or owners across four main regions, Latin America and the Caribbean being one, Africa, Asia and the Pacific, and Europe. So if you're a company in either one of these regions and are either a retailer or brand producer, please express interest in taking part because we really want to work with you. The second type of stakeholder that we're targeting are supporting partner organizations, which could be retail associations, business networks, certification schemes, universities, science centers, NGOs, etc., that can help us amplify the initiative more broadly to your respective networks and help us encourage companies to work on the topic of improving their claims. And to give you an idea of the current partner organizations that have confirmed interest in supporting Retail for Impact, we're very proud to already count global networks like the Global Eco-Labeling Network, but also regional networks like Ecological Union or Hage Support, and many national business networks, like you see here, GS1 South Africa, the UN Global Compact Chile, Ghana, Tanzania. We have support from China and the major retail association called CCFA, but also the Consumer Goods Council for South Africa. We have ACATU. We also have science partners like Rede ACV based in Brazil, or universities out of Colombia, Universidad de los Andes. But if you're also a certification scheme like Zeria or Ecotourism Kenya, please feel free to help us amplify the word on Retail for Impact. And we're quite happy that now that this initiative is public, we hope that more partners will help us disseminate this initiative and invite businesses themselves to express interest in benefiting from the initiative. So don't hesitate to let us know already if you're interested. Now, moving to the next section is what will you get from joining an initiative like Retail for Impact? So Participating companies like retailers and brand producers that are selected in taking part in Retail for Impact will benefit from a year-long capacity building program. So you'll be part of a group of front-running organizations that aim to drive change in the way they inform consumers on product sustainability. I think hopefully we've made that clear. Something important to mention is that we're not applying any fees for companies to take part in Retail for Impact. And this is thanks to the generosity of numbers of our sponsors. And I'm quoting and citing the Federal Ministry of the Environment, Nature Conservation, Building and Nuclear Safety of Germany. Thanks also to the help of the European Commission and the Ministry of Environment of Denmark, that we thank very much because their financial support allows you to benefit from a great offer free of charge. So concretely, this initiative will be composed, as you see here, of not only 8 months of capacity building workshops that will cover a wide range of topics, and we'll deep dive into all of them in 1 minute, but it will also be followed by 6 months of assessment of the progress and the change that you've been able to achieve and that we've been able to collectively achieve. That will help you share and disseminate widely, not only within our community, but also among your networks. And at the end of this first cycle, hopefully we can continue working together to define and refine what a phase 2 could look like on other topics or on other impacts that we want to achieve. So we will be hosting concretely 2 workshops per month, one in Spanish, mainly addressing the LAC companies, and one in English covering the 3 other regions, so Africa, Europe, and Asia and the Pacific. And each of these workshops will have curated case studies, curated content to fit to the regional context, and that's with the help of the different partners that I mentioned, and hopefully with many more. So walking you through these different workshops, the first 2 ones will be deep diving into the 5 fundamental and the 5 aspirational principles of the guidelines, so that you're really able to understand what each principle entails and how you can best apply it to your current products and contexts. Workshop number 3 will provide you with visibility on the current policy landscape on the topic of product sustainability, and will also be showcasing examples of countries that either have consumer laws in place combating false or misleading claims, or that have guidelines to help companies formulate their green claims, or even implementing laws that make the availability of product sustainability information mandatory for companies. So we'll help you navigate through these different laws and help you best prepare for legal compliance. Now, the 2 following workshops are sectoral modules, one focused on food and one focused on cosmetics and personal care. There again, we will present how the principles can be tailored to each of these sectors and provide you with concrete case studies of companies that are already using the guidelines as a framework for framing their green claims. So if you already have any case study that you would like to share during one of these workshops, please let us know in the chat, and we'll be very happy to follow up with you and to provide this space for you in the workshops. The last 2 modules are also optional, depending on your interests and your needs, but we believe that addressing the role that retailers play in driving behavioral change is very, very important. So we'll help you assess how to give more visibility to green products on your shelves and how to educate your store staff to becoming the first drivers or ambassadors to guiding consumers in making more informed choices. And the final topic is, final but not least, is on product carbon disclosure and helping you understand how to best measure and communicate on net zero claims. And at the end of the initiative in December, you'll be able to present the claim that you have worked on and to increase visibility on the change and the impact that you've managed to achieve in 8 months. So I'm aware that's quite a lot of information. And before moving to letting you know how to join for Impact very concretely, we would like to reopen the floor and hear from you. Tell us what you think about these topics, about these workshops, about the way we framed the program. And if you can reconnect directly on Menti, that would be great. So Bruno, I'll give you back the floor now so you can help us navigate through the second part of the exercise.
Thanks,
Back to you,
Manon.
Bruno.
Oh, I believe we have a raised hand, right? Or should we cover this
Yes,
after
Richard, we
this?
see your hands. Do you have a question on Menti? And if so, please come in if you can. Hopefully you can.
No, I believe it's related to
Yeah,
anything
otherwise
else,
the
right?
team will help you.
So, as for the Menti, so thanks again, Manon. So after all this information that were provided about the initiative, as Manon said, we'll be happy to hear a little bit more about your ideas, your insights, and your input. So here we have, among all the topics that were presented, which ones would you be more interested in? And here we have understanding the 5 fundamental principles of the UNEP guidelines on the product sustainability information, understanding the 5 aspirational principles of those guidelines, understanding current policies and preparing for compliance, food sector application of the principles, cosmetics sector application of the principles, retailers' role in driving behavioral change, and product carbon footprint, how to best measure and communicate. So I see you already answering in providing answers on Menti. So thanks again. We have uh, a lot of answers related to understanding current policies and prepare for compliance. Also, behavior change related to retailers' role. We have also application of the principles to the food sector and understanding the 5 fundamental principles, and also how to best measure and communicate product carbon footprint. So I guess we have a little bit of everything here, and that's great to see. Just a few more seconds to see if we can gather any other answers here. But yes, we still have the current policies and compliance as the top and the most answered topic here. But good to have also things related to behavior change, some sectors, as we have a majority of food organizations here, right? Food sector, we have the application of these principles, and also the interest of for understanding the principles, the 5 fundamental one and the 5 aspirational one. 27, just 10 more seconds because I saw that there was another answer here. And then we can move on to the next one. Okay, another one to understanding the 5 aspirational principles. And thanks again, it's very important to us so we can help tailor the initiative even more, as we already mentioned also on the first round of the Mentimeter. So it's really, really important so we can give you the best experience here. So Manon, if you can please move on to the next one. I believe we reached a good number of answers. For the next questions, we have here, are there other topics you would be interested to learn about? And here we have consumers' perspectives and needs on product sustainability information, managing excessive product sustainability information, understanding ongoing initiatives on digital product information systems for product sustainability information, such as digital product passports, informing consumers on chemicals of concern, learning from other sectors, for example, textiles, construction, electronics, and many others. And other, if you have any other topics that you would be interested to learn about, we'll be happy to hear from you. You can please write on the chat or specify if there's any other one more specific. But I see we already have here uh, a good amount of answers related to consumers' perspectives and needs and product sustainability information, and the initiatives on digital product information systems, such as the digital product passports, and learning from other sectors too. Well, I guess just the topics are very similar in terms of interest, and that's good. And a few more on digital product passports. So let's leave it a few more seconds, 15 to 20 seconds, so you can please uh, answer on the Menti. I see we have a few comments too. The role of tech, deeper dive on verification and traceability mechanisms that meet the new Green Directive requirements. Interesting. So yeah, more answers on the digital product information systems. That's great. And consumers' perspectives and needs on product sustainability information. Manon, if you can please go to the last one, so I can give you a little bit of time to after the Menti. So lastly, we have here the last Menti question, and it is, do you have best practices you would like to share during one of the Retail4Impact workshops? So it's okay if you don't have any at this stage. You can uh, get in touch with us later if there's something that you want to share. But if you have an initiative that you want to share during one of the workshops, please you can put them in the chat so we can keep in touch and follow up on how to use this best practice. How can we improve the workshop experience? So please feel free to let us know or to be in touch with us so we can follow up and see how we can take the best out of it. So mm, now I see we have a few other uh, topics related to the last question. That's great. We're definitely gonna uh, have them in our notes here so we can keep that in mind. There's an initiative which can save life by avoiding plastic products and save Earth too. Recyclability claims. Uh, Very interesting answers here. I'm gonna leave just a few more seconds so we can have time to wrap it up and give the floor back to Menno. Impactor measurement, very interesting too. Research finding on consumers' choices of the low carbon food in Chinese fast chain restaurants. Um, oh, that's very interesting. Experiments conducted in chain restaurants, traffic lighting system, information edits were used. Oh, that's definitely something that's going to enrich the workshops for sure. So thanks again for sharing, and we'll be keeping in touch definitely to see how we can best fit them in during the workshop schedules. So I guess that's it for the Menti, as we don't have much time left. So I wanted to thank you again for the engagement and for providing all your answers and interacting with us. It's really important to see that interest and to have this different inputs, feedbacks for enriching and tailoring the initiative, and also to give you the best experience. So thanks again. If you have any doubts, you can keep on uh, sending them to us here. And Manon, please, now I give the floor back to you.
Thanks again, Bruno, for this great animation. And thank you. I also want to thank all of you for the precious feedback and all of the advice that you shared also in the chat. We'll take them into consideration when we reframe the Retail for Impact topics and the workshops that we can provide you. So now, and given the time, allow me to move to the last section, which is to give you visibility on how to join the initiative. So for companies to take part in this series of workshops, but also join the global community of practice that Retail for Impact is, you will need to meet these 6 criteria. So not only be a retailer or a brand producer, but also join the One Planet Network or another UNEP initiative. And by joining either one of these initiatives, you will be made aware of the work that is led in the field of consumer information, in the field of product sustainability, and learn more about the UN values and projects, and also actively participate. So the idea behind asking you to become a member of the initiative that makes the most sense for you is to help you join a global community of practice on the topic of product sustainability. But note that your membership will last only for the time of the initiative, so 1 year, and you'll be able to decide whether you want to stay within the community and renew your membership or not after the 8 months of Retail for Impact. Another criteria is to nominate at least 2 members from your company to take part in Retail for Impact. And this is because we're learning from past trainings that we delivered back in 2019, where we really helped build capacities of 1 person within the organization on product sustainability information. But over time, most of the time, this person left the organization and the knowledge was lost. So by requesting that you nominate at least 2 focal points or more, we try to ensure that this knowledge will stay within your respective companies. So that's the idea. Another criteria is to ask you to take the Green Marketing Challenge, which is a 2-hour online self-based training where we will introduce the principles in a very ludic and simple and dynamic way to explain you how to start applying them to your current communications or claims. So for us, asking you to take this challenge is a first step to building capacities on the principles. And there you will receive a certificate delivered by UNEP, attesting that you took the 2-hour training and that you've started building capacity on the UNEP guidelines. Now, the 5th criteria is quite important to us by asking you to make a year-long commitment to either develop or assess one of your green claims and aligning it with the 5 fundamental principles. We help you learn by doing. And that's what we want to start doing with this Retail for Impact initiative, is to help you take a concrete example of a claim and enable you to improve it or to align it with the principles. So the commitment that you will take before joining Retail for Impact is the commitment that you will be working on during the whole program, so the whole 8 months of capacity building. And we will help you reach or work towards reaching this commitment in the time of the program. We also here want to encourage you to take a more ambitious commitment than the one that we've drafted here. Perhaps you not only want to work on one product green claim, but several. You maybe want to align it with the 10 principles and the whole framework and not only with the 5 fundamental ones. So these are elements of the commitment that you can also refine before joining Retail for Impact. And we will ask to report on the commitment that was taken up to 6 months after the end of the initiative, so helping you assess where you stand and what change you've managed to achieve in the time frame of the program. And before opening the floor and getting your thoughts on these criteria, I also wanted to share the ones that we are foreseeing for partner organizations, which is to help us encourage your networks or your businesses that are part of your respective networks to join Retail for Impact and to take the Green Marketing Challenge. So to really amplify the resources that we have at our disposal to your respective network, but also to take the Green Marketing Challenge yourself so that you're able to have this first level of understanding of how the principles work, to be able to encourage also your network into taking it. And at the end of the program, to report on the different actions that you would have implemented during the time frame of Retail for Impact. So we're entering the final minute of this workshop, of this webinar, sorry. And just before hearing your thoughts, if you still have 5 minutes, I wanted to share with you the next steps of the next steps. So please, if you're interested in taking part in Retail for Impact, express interest through the online form that is available at the end of Retail for Impact's page before the 28th of February. So today is the official opening of the expression of interests call, and we will keep it open until the 28th of February. And early March, we will revise applications that we've received and select organizations that will be notified by the 7th of March, leaving them one more week up to the 14th of March to return a final letter of engagement that is signed by a C-level leadership representative or equivalent within your organization. And that will validate officially your participation in Retail for Impact. So don't hesitate if you have any more information coming your way to contact me or Bruna or Bruno that you've met here today, and to download the terms of reference of the initiative that can be found on Retail for Impact's page. So I'm aware we're past time now, but please, if you have any questions already, feel free to open your mic or to write in the chat. Thank you. So I've seen a lot of questions in the chat. Hopefully most of them have been answered already. But yes, Richard, hopefully you're now able to come in. You're muted, Richard. Ah.
My microphone's on.
Yes.
Very useful presentations. Thank you very much. Will you send, first of all, the slides out to us, or at least the roadmap, the timeline?
Yes.
And secondly, you didn't say that there are certificates available for the partners, only for the retailers. That's extremely important. There are over 400, hundreds actually, of online courses. UNEP has them, all of which offer certificates. That's extremely important. So will you also be doing that for the partners? Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you for your question, Richard. And this is something that we can consider. We will deliver certificates for even partners taking the Green Marketing Challenge. So in this aspect, yes, but also you've made me think, and hopefully the team as well, of delivering certificates for the whole Retail for Impact program. So this is something we'll take time to reflect on. Thank you for your feedback. Does anyone else have time or have questions that are left unanswered? So if not, thank you again very much for your interest, for your time, for all this very valuable feedback that we take with us to refine this program and what the program will look like and what it will enable you to achieve at the end of this year. So very, very much appreciate your time and the energy that you've put in this webinar. Thank you very much and wishing you a great rest of the day. And Carol.